Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Earlier today, I was listening to the radio, and on the show, they were talking about some extreme things that were so-called extreme things, right? Because we live in the United States. People are doing to survive during this current hyperinflation. And one of the callers had said that, he's in his 40s, and he and his wife finally learned to cook at home. And we call that extreme here in the United States. That's all right. But when I heard it, it kind of hit me hard because I worked at a startup many years ago, and I was the only single guy there. Some of my colleagues had children. And I would often stay late for the tasks that nobody wanted to do. And then I would have no time to cook, and I would eat out almost every day. And I remember looking at my bill and like, oh my God, this is actually costing me. I mean, I was making good money at the startup company, but it felt almost like a singles tax. That's because it's a bill that I have to pay because I'm single and I have to work all these extra hours. Now, don't forget, some singles actually want to go out and meet the right person, right? So now they're being taxed some amount of their earnings, right? Because they have to work all these wonky hours, and then they have no time to go look for that person. And it hit me, if we can have, right now as I speak, there's a lot of discussion about family life, about work-life balance. If we can have maternity leave for people who have children, why can't we have maternity leave for singles to go out and look for the right person, right? I mean, just a thought. I mean, granted, we're a long ways from accepting that, but just a thought, right? And I'm glad the place I work right now, we're not allowed to, quote-unquote, donate our vacation time to our colleagues, right? I despise that policy. Don't get me wrong. I don't despise the colleagues who ask. I despise that the whole system exists the way it does, right? Just the other day, I gave myself heck because I was submitting a paper to a conference in New York, and as I hit the submit button, I'm like, gee, I don't want my paper to get accepted. I don't want to use my own precious time and money to go to New York. But at the same time, I kind of need that for my career. And lately, I've been really treasuring the time that I actually do get to go on vacation. And unfortunately, it's also important for my career to have these publications, right? I do want to eventually land a full professor at the community college that I'm working at. And so that's tough enough. You throw in a colleague who has maternity leave issues, who has a family member with COVID, it just throws everything out of balance, right? And so the next time I get asked for a favor, I gotta think back at, it was tough enough for me to balance my own work and life, right?